Good evening, everybody. Welcome to this very great episode. I call it great. I made it up, but hey, I got two wonderful guys with me for creating live stream production value. I want to thank my two guests, Pete McDevitt, Ed Viapree. Thank you for coming on.
Absolutely.
Thanks for having me. I appreciate it. I'm so excited to be here with the amazing Dean and Pete. How awesome is this?
It's going to be fun. It's going to be a good time.
Well, you guys are busy guys, so I appreciate you making a little time here. And so I'll say hello to I see Pearl in the chat. So Pearl, thank you for being here, and we'll see if a few other people can join us. But I thought I'd just explain a little bit about what I'm doing now at the live place and why we're doing this stream. And so basically, a couple months ago, I thought, well, it would be great to have a live stream dedicated to live streamers. Hello, Chris. Good to see Dad Bill's in the house. Kay Atwood, nice to have you here. And so I thought, let's put together a monthly live stream. I have guests on like you guys who can come on and share just your own advice on what you're doing, help other live streamers. I will say that. What I'm going to do before I get into some of my questions, Pete, why don't you go first? Just explain briefly about your channel and what you're about.
My channel is about everybody else. It's me having fun, celebrating the love of Disney and the NFL, and promoting other channels to help them grow and have success, and celebrating their successes on my channels. Disney creators on YouTube are incredible people, and I just want more people to find out about them. So if I can take that and have more people be found because I'm taking the time to talk about them, then that's what it's all about to me.
That's awesome. And you're killing it, sir. So
thank you.
Nice to have you here. Ed.
Yeah, well, usually it's me and my wife, Mindy, who's next to me. And hey, Gonzo, welcome, man. So we're the Viper Project, and we do a lot of live streaming. We do a lot of stuff at the parks, Disney parks. We love going to Disney. We love doing vlog videos. Unfortunately, we haven't been doing much of that because of COVID. But we have some shows that we do on Tuesday nights, like a variety of shows. We have different things like hangouts and sessions, which we haven't done as of recently, but we have some really, really good shows that we do. A lot of Disney content. We do Lego stuff. Lego is a big part of our family. So that has been a big thing that we've done this past year. And we love hanging out with the community. I think that's one of the biggest things that we love to do is doing meetups and hanging out. We got real close with Pete, and Pete's done such a tremendous job with just bringing community closer together. So so that's what we do. We're the Viper Project, me, Mindy, and my two kids. And that's what we do.
Awesome. Yep. And we'll definitely going to get more into some of those things with my questions. But I thought before we do anything, let's have a little fun here. And I'm stealing this from Pete totally. Okay. So these are some lightning questions.
Oh, boy.
And I'm not going to be as good as Pete at this, but I'm going to steal totally from Pete on this first one. Pete, first to you.
Okay.
Monorail or Skyliner?
Both. Take the Skyliner over, go to one park, take the monorail to the other one.
That's the best right there. How about you, Ed?
I'm going Skyliner. Once I can go to Skyliner all day long. It's amazing.
It is amazing.
Yeah.
My favorite resort is Pop Century, and I just ride that thing all day too. All right, Pete, best extinct attraction at Disney World?
It's got to be Horizons.
100%. Love you for saying that, man. How about you, Ed?
I'm going to go with Horizons.
Yeah.
Horizons, yeah.
It is.
Yeah.
Mission Space was quite a step down.
Can Ed get in trouble for cheating on the test and copying me? I'm just curious.
He might.
Okay, just curious.
All right, we're going to go to some tougher questions here. Pete.
Yes.
A Disney snack that's so good you would sneak it on the TTA, People Mover.
Oh, that's easy for me. It's the Mickey pretzel with cheese.
I have heard that more than once, and I've never had one.
They're fantastic.
Tanya loves them.
Yeah, Tanya loves everything.
Ed, I have a different question for you. So you and Mindy are on a date at Hollywood Studios, and you have time for one more thing. You're suggesting Rock and Roller Coaster. Minnie wants to see Beauty and the Beast. How does this discussion go?
Mindy wins.
Okay.
So we'll go see Beauty and the Beast.
Seeing Beauty and the Beast. All right.
Mindy's the boss.
That's right.
She's the boss of my channel, and she's not even on it.
All right, Pete.
Yes.
Your favorite all-star wrestler wants to hire you as a personal tour guide at Disney World. Who is that all-star wrestler?
Ooh, that's a great question, Dean.
Without a doubt, if he was still with us, God rest his soul, Roddy Piper.
Oh, yeah. Boy, you're back in the day, man.
Yes. I mean, King Kong Bundy is one of my best friends. I wouldn't say best friends, but very good friends. The Hardys are very good friends with me. Matt and Jeff and I would have a blast. We've done stuff together, but Piper was my icon that I loved, and I would love to have spent a day with Piper in the parks.
That's awesome.
I forgot to tell you this, Pete, but when I was a kid, when I was 16, I worked at a little store called The Little Store, and it was a little grocery store, and you know who came in constantly, and I knew him well?
Minnesota area, Hogan?
Nope.
Who?
Jesse the Bod.
Nice.
Yep.
Wow,
Nice.
awesome.
Yep.
I've never met Ventura. He's one I've never met.
He became the mayor of Brooklyn Park, a small city, and my former girlfriend was his secretary eventually. So
nice. Jesse.
Look at that.
Jesse
Let me
the
tell you
Bod.
something, Mean Gene.
I always think you haven't got time to bleed.
Yeah. Oh, that's one of the best ones.
All right, Ed.
Yep.
The world will end in 2 days.
Uh-oh.
What are you doing tomorrow?
Ooh, that's a good question. The world's going to end in 2 days. First, I'd have to we'd have to fly, go see our families everywhere to go make sure that everything's good. And then I would try to at least do a couple bucket list items, if I can, with Mindy together in the family. So that's probably what I would do.
See, I would get arrested for attempting to violate Scarlett Johansson.
Mindy just whispered and said, "Buy a Corvette." Like,
That's true.
Hey, if you don't have repayments, that's a great answer.
that is true.
I'm thinking of the cheese pretzel, but that's not. All right, Pete.
Yes, let's do it.
Super Bowl Sunday, you have laryngitis. You cannot do a live stream, but you find out This and That is going live, and they're going to cover the game. Whose commentary do you listen to, CBS or the Four Guys? And I have to quantify that. Shep is very caffeinated.
CBS, because there's no way I'm listening to that awful machine through the whole football game. Now, I would say this. I would listen to Steve and Dave commentate, and I would listen to Zip's Canner thing. Shep, I love. I just couldn't handle 4 quarters of him on that machine.
With the machine. We're gonna steal that machine somehow.
Yeah.
They're fantastic. And if you're new and you're just finding them, those guys are incredible. Check them out.
Oh yeah. We love This and That. That's why we kid them. Ed, final lightning round question.
All right.
Do you think you owe somebody sprinkles or Gideons for being within 5 miles of their home and not visiting?
Can I answer that? Yes.
Well, I try. I sent some shirts over his way.
I'm wearing it tonight.
Oh yeah, so look at yeah.
Oh, let's see.
Yeah,
Wait, hold on. Let's see that shirt again. Yeah.
That's it.
I mean, I have a cool shirt.
I look really good if that's me. Wow.
Wait,
I got
what
2
did I
hands
do?
and I got nice color skin. I'm beautiful.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, it looks good on you.
Yeah.
I
Proper
totally went
jacket.
wrong on that.
Wearing it tonight for tonight's broadcast.
Very
He's wearing a shirt tonight.
I love it. Okay, I missed that. Sorry. Looking down at my piece of paper. You got to give me some hints tonight, Pete.
On
Not looking at the piece of paper when I'm interviewing. All right.
You're doing great, team.
Thank you. All right. Well, we got some great. All right. Let's see. What did Road Trip Dave here say? Jesse the Bod Ventura. While you definitely can quote Jesse's character too much from Predator. I mean, that's right. It was his best role. Let's face it. All right. Let's go back. All right, Ed, I'm going to start with you. And I'm going to go back, I think, roughly, I want to say 3 years. And and this community was really coming together and just starting, you did Sessions. And I remember Sessions was like the show to get on. It was a great show, and you were really ahead on software, on how you formatted it and everything. So share about how Sessions came to be, and what you were trying to accomplish, and also just briefly touch on what you do for a living, because I think that kind of plays into that.
Mm-hmm. Well, yeah. A few years ago, when the community was a lot smaller than what it is now, we were just getting started, just like many channels that now are just joining into this community. And what was cool is that before Pete came along, we were really introduced to a lot of great channels in the community, and we wanted to have a platform for them to be able to share their story, how they got started. And just to be able to connect it, to be just join the community together and grow together. So my wife and I, we created a show called Sessions, and Sessions was a show where we highlighted you or that channel, whatever it is, for a straight hour. And instead of just having it just like a normal, like having somebody in and just talking, I wanted to do something a little bit more and make it more special, make it more like a show. I would spend hours researching the person's or the couple's channel. I would download video, make the content, make trailers for it, and it would be just a time for when they came onto our channel that they felt special, that they felt that they were getting highlighted and shown to a great community. So that's what Sessions was all about. And we did that for a long time. It's great. We love doing Sessions. How the reason why it was different as far as the way we presented it was one is mainly I'm a media director by trade, so I am very versed into the technology realm of audio, video, and lighting. So I'm able to utilize my skills to be able to do stuff like that. Now, unfortunately, I'm not a full-time YouTuber, but so I have to be willing to use some of my personal time to be able to create these experience environments that I can do visually and digitally, right? So that's what pretty much I do, and that's how Sessions kind of came about. So yeah, that's what I did.
Would you say that each sessions that you did, how many hours would it take to prep?
So in the beginning, it would probably take me for a typical show to prep from start to finish. Now, you have to remember, Sessions doesn't just start from just having the person on the show and me having the content. There's a lot of planning that goes involved. And I know Pete will probably talk about stuff like this. There's a lot you got to prepare. So I would say from the preparation to the execution of the show would probably say about 8 hours.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. That's a lot of work.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you, Ed. And I remember when you had Road Trip Dave on. That was an awesome interview.
Yeah, it was fun. It was a lot of fun. And I'm glad he's here. Good to see you, buddy.
All right, Pete, I'm going over to you now. For anyone who has discovered you in the last 6 months to a year, I can't remember the timing, they might know you as a very busy live streamer. They may not know your story. And I just wanted to say, if anyone here happens to not know it, check out his video. It's called My Magical Journey to Return to Walt Disney. It's an amazing video. It gives you the story of Pete and how you ended up here. But from your own words and whatever you want to share, can you just kind of share how things have gone for you, this journey the last couple of years that's led to live streaming and what you do?
I started out, 3 or 4 years ago as an enhancer. I followed Ed when Ed and Mindy had their channel going. I started out as the person that was key, I think, in helping some of the channels when they were in their youth stages by sharing them out consistently. I would super chat like crazy. I would try to stimulate the chat to get more people to come in. I was primarily focused on Resort TV 1, Prince Charming Dev, Magical News Live, Corey Meets World, and the WW couple. Actually, for the WW couple, I was their first ever moderator. And that was where I was at. I was happy doing that, trying to help other people grow their channels. Wasn't interested in having a channel myself. I had a job with the military that kept me pretty busy, and didn't really have the time to put into what it took to really do a good channel. So just fast forward to September of 19. I was at a national sales conference. I was the MC for our national event in the evening, and wore a tuxedo, which I've rented a tuxedo for 10 years straight, never had a problem. This year, the shoes on it gave me a small blister. I covered it up, put back to, Bactine and all kind of stuff on it. Thought I was good. Sometime in the travel, I left. That was at 9:00 on a Friday night. We finished around midnight. Went to sleep in the hotel. Got up 3 a.m. Drove to Disney. Rope drop Magic Kingdom. Did 4 days at the park. Came back home to Maryland on Tuesday in the late afternoon, early evening, and sat down on the sofa and told my wife and kids, "Hey, I feel a little tired. Like I got a little bit of the flu." And next thing I know, that I remember is I woke up. That was September 19th. I woke up in the hospital October 21st or 22nd from a coma. And this virus, I had a blood virus that had got into my body and was progressively going to attack my brain. And my wife was told for 5 days in a row that I would not make it through the night. And my kids had to suffer that trauma, which I'm forever regretful that they had to deal with that. But in order to save my life, they had to take the bottom part of my left leg, my left hand, and my right side is still a little compromised because the virus had eaten down to my tendons in both my ankle and my wrist. So it's a challenge. And when I came, long story short, I was in the hospital. I don't know, it was about midway through, waking up. So I guess it would be probably mid-November timeframe. Preston is my son. He is everything to me along with my daughters. And he said to me one day, "Dad, they won't let me live stream because I'm too young. When we get home, will you do that with me?" And I couldn't tell my son no. Either that or the drugs were really good, and I don't know why I said yes. So it's one of those two. I tend to lean toward the second, but it is what it is. So I agreed to do it. And when we came home here, I came home in April. So I was out of my house from September till April. I finally came home. And second day home, Preston said, "Dad, let's do this. I want to go live." And I was like, oh, God. I honestly didn't want to do it. But because I committed to him and gave him my word, I did. And I had a blast doing it with him. And we just made a decision that, hey, if we're going to do this, then I'm going to do it full throttle. I'm going to go get all the tools that I need to do it. One. And two, if we're going to do it, I want to do it about everybody else. I want to help other people. God left me here for a reason. And I think part of that was to help those who are disabled or having challenges as in the disabled community, that to be able to empower and enlighten and help them work through their mental anguish and challenges that they face daily. That's my first and major focus. And then two, help everybody else in this Disney community, because my son played Resort TV 1, Corey Meets World, and this and that shows every week for me when I was in the coma, when I woke up, even though some of them I don't remember because I was so disoriented, but I heard all those. So I'm trying to help everybody else. And that is my focus. I am booked up on my show with brand new interviews. I started June 5th, right, Preston? June 5th is when we started our channel. I've been booked up solid and every week, and I'm booked up right now through the end of 2021, and I'm starting to book 2022. And it's a fantastic thing.
Yeah. And just hearing you, and everyone should understand why you are a hero in this community. You are a hero. And that's the best word I can think.
I appreciate that, Dean, and I respectfully acknowledge it. But the heroes in this community, let's be honest, the heroes in the community are those men and women that are YouTubers that have served our country. The Kelly Myers, the James Ryan, and so on and so forth. The heroes in our community are the people like Ed, okay, Genevieve, who don't allow the fact of where they were born, the color of their skin, the beliefs that they have to be looked at. Nobody thinks about Genevieve and says, oh, she's got, this type of background. She's not fully Caucasian. We think of her as an incredible creator. We think of Ed as I've never once heard a person say anything about Ed's background. All I hear is what incredible people they are. That's heroes in our community. The ladies of this community who have stood up and fought these battles through the years to fight where we're at. Those are heroes. And my final one are all these people that are stepping up and doing things like that man did right there, raising money for Give Kids the World, raising money for VB Birthmarks, raising money for those less fortunate, giving of their time and their efforts and their attitude. Those are the heroes. I'll take a step back to all those people. Dean.
Well said, sir. And, if you go back to the Beverly Challenge, you could just see the same attitude, not in you and in the many people that gave their time and their stomachs for.
I'm still mad that two things. One, Disney Dan threw Beverly in my face. I got to get back at him for that.
Really?
Yeah, he did. He hit me with Beverly in the face. And two, I was not allowed to take the camera and the microphone into the bathroom during the regurgitation process of Beverly. That I think would have given us a viral stream.
I would have paid for that. I heard about it. Yeah. Well, guys, out in the chat, and I apologize if I've missed your comment or that you came in and I missed you, but if you have, we're going to get more into the aspect of how they do their live streaming and how they bring production value. I would welcome your questions. So put in your questions. They're going to try to answer some of mine, but they're also going to see your comments and try to answer them. So go ahead. If you have questions about what Pete and Ed do, please put it in the chat. And all right. So, hey, Tina.
I've gotten too used to 55-inch. All the chat seems small. I got to put on glasses. I'm sorry.
I'm going to get there soon, though, Pete. I'm going to have to wear glasses.
I got you both on age and prescription height. All right. And we got Papa Mozo here. Good to have you here. All right, let's get going. Don's asking if Dan actually did that, Pete. Shame on him.
He did. I wore it all day.
Wow. Okay, let's start with Ed. So easy question, but probably could be a long answer.
Okay.
I want to get into the specific components of what you use. And I realize that kind of is boring, but people want to know, what kind of computer are you on? What's your software? How do you get your lighting is always excellent. So how do you,
Thank you.
What's all the stuff you have?
Yeah. I'll give you a list. And actually, the funny thing is I actually ordered new equipment yesterday, right, babe? It was yesterday? Yeah, I ordered new equipment yesterday. But yeah, I have a lot of equipment to tell you. I'll go really quick as fast as I can. So for lighting, one of the main things for at least for me, every streamer is different. So I'm just saying the Viapree project. So it's not a standard, but I lighting is very important, like extremely important. So when we stream, we make sure that we have lighting set up everywhere we are. And this is what we'll call our studio area / dining room. It's a very bright area. So we have a lot of high ceiling lit lights. And what we try to do, the reason why ours looks so well is because we make sure that the color temperature, I'm going to get a little nerdy, guys. So hear me out. Okay. And then Google will write down some stuff. This will help you. We make sure the color temperature is even. So what does that mean? So when you go to Home Depot or Target or Walmart and you're getting bulbs, you have soft light, which is like a warm light. You have cool color lights, and those are called those different colors. With like a warm color is all measured by what's called Kelvin. Okay, so when you look at a back of a package of a light, you'll see that it'll say 3,200 to like 5,000. So we use in this house around 4,000 Kelvin, which is more of closer to the daylight type lights. So our whole house is pretty much that. So I try to keep it even. Now, why do I do that? It's because when certain cameras pick up lighting differently, and if you mix a warm light with a cool light, and your skin tone, which I'm more brown, it throws off the color. It just makes things a little look wonky. So what I use is these LED panels, which I can show you. I got them on Amazon. They're small little panels, and maybe I can send you a list, Dean, and maybe you could put it in a description. Or
Great.
And I have two like LED panels that are just facing this way. I have my regular lights in the house, which are coming down. That's how our lights are. That's how it's always looks like this. Microphone wise, I use a Yeti. Can you get that for me, by the way? Yeah, I use a Yeti as far as a microphone. My original one, which is this one right here, this is what I've been using ever since I started. And last week it broke, which is the crazy thing. So I have a second one right here. So this is the microphone I use. So I'm glad I didn't throw it away. I can show everybody. So I'm going to use it as a prop, what we do. So, yep, it works really well. I also use as a camera. Now, I use multiple cameras. Now, I don't know if you saw our Christmas special. We have a lot of equipment. So not every stream we do, I use the same equipment. So something like this, I have my standard normal setup. And then like we do our specials, I have different equipment, different cameras, different lighting. I have different audio, all that. So I know it can go really long, Dean. Do you really want me to do that?
Well, I'll tell you what, how about in the next couple of minutes, make sure you at least give people a sense of, for my software, I mean, what do I use for my, I was glad software, you said the mic.
Mic, right. What else?
The lighting you covered. Right. How about, I don't know. Anything.
Okay, so the camera I'm using right now, I'm using a Logitech HD 10. It's a 1080p. I've had this ever since I started YouTube. Like I don't always upgrade my equipment, believe it or not. So like this is the original stuff. When I first started YouTube, I literally am using the same things. Really? So it's right. So this camera, it's a Logitech 1080p camera webcam. It's nothing special. It's not like a Canon or a Panasonic DSLR. None of that. So it's just a webcam 1080p. The reason why it looks so good compared to other people is because of the lighting. Okay, so that's the secret. Besides that, I told you I used sorry, I hit the microphone. The Yeti. My computer I'm using a MacBook Pro 16-inch. This computer is dying, so I'm having a lot of problems with it. So I just ordered the brand new Mac Mini, which is coming in hopefully by the end of the month. So I'm transitioning over to the Mac Mini and doing a whole bunch of stuff with that. And I have this one has 16 gigs of RAM. The new Mac Mini does too, but that's what you need. You need to have a really good computer.
Wow.
As far as software that I used to use, so when I was doing sessions and all the stuff before, I was using a software called Wirecast. Now, Wirecast is a great software. It's a professional grade software, but it takes a lot of resources on your computer. So it was crashing a lot. So I just recently went over to Ecamm this past year. And Ecamm has been phenomenal. And with Ecamm, I use, and Pete will probably talk about it a little bit too, I don't have it with me, but I use these little square things. Can you get it for me real quick? Thanks, man. This is a game changer for me, and Pete will probably tell you too. I use a Stream Deck. Do you know what that is? A Stream Deck. So the Stream Deck is connected to the computer, and I'm able to program this device, and I can make it do pretty much whatever I want. I would have not been able to do our Christmas special if I didn't have this device.
Okay.
And you have to program it, and you can make it do your countdown, your different camera, your different scenes, and all that stuff. So that's what I use as far as my standard setup.
Okay. And that's the kind of stuff, honestly, I go looking for it, and it just seems like people don't want to really cover that. So,
I lost my sound.
Pete.
By the way, I can show it to you real quick. So this thing.
Oh, okay.
So I use this, and when I plug it in and I program it, all these buttons, I do a whole bunch of
I
stuff
want
with
that off.
So it's kind of like a mixer, or not really a mixer, but
No, it's not a mixer. It's just think of hot
Control.
keys,
Yeah,
like
hotkeys,
programmable hotkeys. But this all lights up. Like you program everything on here.
okay,
Yeah.
awesome. Well, today, and Dave asked a question: how do you budget for that?
How do I budget for that? That's a good question. I don't budget for it.
You just do it.
I just do it. Yeah. Mindy knows that too. Amazon is always coming to our house. Like if you see our new stuff, I have a big mixer now. Like I have a big audio mixer that we're transitioning over from audio. So we have the Yeti, but I also have these new mics now that I was talking to Pete about it. I have these handheld mics. I have wireless mics. And I'm transitioning over to this big mixer that I can do all these different things.
Yep.
So, and I just buy it when I need to. So no budget.
Okay. Awesome. Well, thank you.
My budget is when Mindy says, "What did you just do? Go return it."
Want to welcome Zoe Wishing Mouse into the chat and Stacy Rogers.
Hey, welcome.
Boo! Oh,
All right, and Isaac Nail. All right, oops, and Captain Akron. Holy cats! All of a sudden, everybody's coming in. Awesome. All right, Pete.
yes.
I want to get into an aspect of live streaming that everyone knows. You have a personality for live streaming, and I don't think any of us expects to be as quick-witted and you have a lot of knowledge. You have a lot of knowledge not only of the NFL and Disney, but just in general. You know how to run a live stream that way. But we all sit here and watch you and think we would like to be able to at least learn how you do that. So I know you have a strategy on how you live stream and what kind of motivates you to do it. So explain to people how Pete McDevitt thinks and creates a live stream that's so fun and kind of it's fun and it's very dynamic.
Well, I think the key that I look at is one, I realize that it's not about me. It's about the person who's watching. You're doing that for them. Are you putting out content that's going to make them want to say, hey, I want to watch this a little bit more? And then thinking about that, involving and engaging with the people that are watching. This is a unique platform where, if you look at, like one of my idols was Carson. His interaction that he got direct was maybe if the studio audience laughed at his joke in front of him. Where I have a chance to not only see if the studio audience will react to the joke, but directly interact back and forth with them to a conversational platform. So engaging and making people feel, I want every person who's sitting in their living room, their car, at lunch at their job, watching my show to feel that I'm right there sitting next to them. And if you create that atmosphere and you keep it interesting and fast, you realize that comedy's not funny if you hurt somebody's feelings. That's a key platform. People forget about that. They think, I'll go out and I'll write this joke or write that joke. But I always think, how is this going to affect so-and-so? Or do I need to reach out to so-and-so beforehand and say, hey, brace yourself, because here's what I'm doing, and here's where it's going to lead to, and here's my end game for it, where it's not malicious. It is actually to enhance more people to go over and take a look at you. And real quick, I know it's off topic, but I want to congratulate Isaac Nail. Isaac's in here, 1,000 subscribers he just hit. We're going to recognize that this week on our channel, but I think it's important that we congratulate him in here right now. It's pretty awesome. Nice job, Isaac.
That's awesome. Congratulations, Isaac. That's awesome.
That's awesome. Pete, I want to delve into that just a little bit more, and I want to say, so when your format is very quick, it's funny, it keeps your attention. When you think of others and other live streamers, do you think that it's something that they can learn, or do you think that's just something unique to you? Or
no, I think anything can be learned. It's just a question of how well does it adhere to your personality, and how well does, with my show, it's take Ed and my show. Ed's show is it's excellent. It's incredible. I love the Viapree project. First off, I'm a huge fan. Preston, answer that text, please, for me. Sorry about that. I got text coming in about my show. We're going a little bit later tonight, so I got people texting me. Are you okay? Are we going late? I tell everybody, you know, Ed plans his thing out and he has a strategy and he has it laid out and he has his storyboard done. With me, I have a skeleton storyboard and I roll off of it. I bounce back and forth to how I'm going to do. And 90% of it is organized. 10% of it is, okay, I'm going to ask this next question to this guest, but I happen to see that Captain Akron's in my chat. Well, I'm going to say that this guest came from Captain Akron, and all of a sudden Captain's in there saying, wait a minute, I didn't ask that question, and they're all having fun. And I'm getting my chat to engage and interact. So yes, it's fast paced, but a lot of it is thinking, can it be taught? Yeah. With a lot of practice, you just got to get out there if you're brand new, and you got to put your feet in the water and realize that, you know, your first 100 streams may be horrible. It may take time to build up to where you have that confident flow, where you have that confidence in yourself, where you can think on your feet a little bit quicker, because when you first start, you're trying to hit all these buttons and make it all work. But that's a key factor. Absolutely. It's what you make of it, what you put into it.
I'm like feeling like I'm going to be your first student in that. And I love it. I mean, honestly, I love it. And to see one of my heroes, Lou Mangello, was the first big Disney name that I followed. And I know Lou, and he came on your show, and I could tell he was blown away. He was it was something it was something new and fun. And I could tell he had a great time. And so I applaud.
You know, with mine, and I tip my hat to the man down below, because when I came home and started to figure this out, Ed, without even thinking, was on the phone with me multiple times, helping me work through Ecamm and figure it out, because, you know, I'm an okay tech guy. I'm no Magical News Live out here trying to figure out, you know, what I can do. So Ed helped me through it and got it together. And basically everything that Ed uses, with the exception of the lighting, we're trying to adjust here because my studio is in my the house where it used to be our sun parlor. So it has great audio, my audio that surrounds me around. I got double Yetis that I use and things like that. But I need to get the lighting down a little better. But I use the Elgato Stream Deck. Ed brought it to my attention. I went out and bought it. When you see me flipping through a lot of those initial slides and everything, it's one touch button back and forth and making it happen. And I highly encourage people to, you know, you might spend a little bit more up front for like Ecamm. I think Ed would agree. And for the Stream Deck and things that you need to do, but it's going to lift your level about it. And I'll throw this out there without throwing any names. There's YouTubers out there with 11,000 plus 12,000 subscribers. Okay. And I go onto their channel and you can't see them. You can't hear them. Their picture's fuzzy and they got 8 people watching. Okay. Well, first off, I don't know how they got all their subscribers if they're that big. But second off is you're not going to keep people if your content's not quick and sharp.
Yeah.
Okay. If you're, you should go in and steal a little bit of everybody, Dean. I say this. There's homages in my show to Steve from Steve's World, to Josh from Resort TV One, to Ed from the Viapree Project, to Mouse Talk, to Lou Mangello, who was one of my heroes as well as yours when I first started out, to Adam the Woo. If you don't think that some of that quickness that comes out is not Woo-like material, it is. I went and pulled a little bit of everybody that I thought, hey, they're the best at that. Well, they're the best at this. You know, I think Ed and Mindy are one of the best at working through their chat and making those people feel a part. Like you're sitting right there at Ed's table playing the game and Mindy's cheating. That's so
thank you. At least you see that.
Yeah, that's the key thing for me.
Yeah, I've got a great question about that too. I'll come back to Ed. This came up from Chris. I'll let you take this question.
All right, question for Ed. I've seen some of the streams where you and Mindy play music clips. Can you talk about how to manage that with trying to avoid copyright claims or similar issues? Very good question, that build. So pretty much all the audio that we get for the Viper project, and yes, music is a big thing for us, especially for our countdowns. And some people love our countdowns, some people don't like them, but we like them, so that's what we are. But when we play music and stuff on everything that we use is I have the license for. So I make sure anytime I'm doing anything that's big, so especially when we have a lot of our bigger videos, so like some of you may know, some of our bigger videos got picked up from like big companies. So like our first big video, SeaWorld actually bought from us and licensed from us. And then actually not last year, but 2019, Disney picked up one of our videos for D23. So that they're playing it. They played at D23. All those music that they have, you can't use regular music. So I have to make sure that I have the license for these particular videos. So what I did was so if I know that I'm doing like a big video, and I call these our feature videos, which is our music montage videos, and I'm using a specific song, I would go onto like a couple websites. The main website I use is called musicbed.com. And when you go to musicbed.com, you can look through all those different types of genres of music. And then you pick the license that you would want or that you're actually going to use for that video. So for me, it was on average about $50 a video based on the license for what I was creating. Now, obviously, I can't do that all the time. Now, that's when I'm making a specific video. Now, when I'm streaming, I need music as well. Now, I can't pay $50 for every single song I stream with, right? So that's just crazy. So there's great websites out there. The one that I suggest is a website called artlist.co. I believe that's what it is. Okay. But it's called Artlist. And you pay so much a year, or you can pay monthly, and you can pick really, really good songs from there. And I use that. So like our countdown video, that song is from Artlist. So I have the license for that. And then whatever other clips that I use is from Artlist.
Okay. I've used audio blocks, and but I've hit copyright problems even using from there. So
really,
I have, and then you got to go through this strange process, and I don't know why that happens.
That's crazy.
You know, Dean, too, something that, and I'm not sure if this is a question, but Ed made me think of it here when he was talking about it. Why is Stacey Rogers yelling at us first?
I had to throw that up there.
Yeah, one of the key things too that starts with the new person in the community. If you're new to doing this, or if you've been doing it for a while, I highly encourage you to go out and build relationships across other channels. It's a key format, what you do. If you look at my channel, first off, I look at the partnerships. If it wasn't for my partnerships with the Viapree Project and Rob Fuzz, I don't get off the ground as quick as I did, first off. Second off, if it wasn't for the partnerships and friendships that I have with major players in the community, Resort TV One, Corey Meets World, Prince Charming Dev, WW Couple, people with, tens of 50s of hundreds of thousands of subscribers that were willing to open the door for me and let people know about me, that's a big factor. Okay. The next thing I'll tell you is my channel. If you look, I recognize them. I'm going to start doing that this week. I made a slide for him, but you look at Dad Builds, who is my audio guy who pulls all these audio clips for me. I couldn't do my channel what it is without his support. And he does it because of the relationship we have. Pearl Manhattan has written multiple private music for me. There she is right there. Speaking of Pearl, she's written multiple. She has the opening to my show that I do tonight, my NFL show, and she wrote Christmas music for our huge event and did it for us at no charge. I've got Casey Bryant, who's a member of our channel, who is just a great person, who said, "Hey, Pete, I've got all this video I've taken in Disney. I don't want to do my own channel. I don't have the time, nor do I want to. Can I put it up on your channel?" So I'm putting up all this quality, incredible shorts and videos and everything because of people like Casey Bryant, who are giving it all to me. So you add that, and then you take in the fact of logos and stuff. Have a good logo.
Yeah.
If you want to be a good creator, it starts with a unique logo. Viapree Project has theirs. I love the fact that they hang them on the wall behind them. Mm-hmm. I've worked with mine, and I've gone out and made relationships with Dad Got Parks and Magical News Live, who have created my emojis, my logos, all kind of stuff. So it's the relationships you build that can help you get to that creative level before you even start with the technology part.
Yeah. And I'm going to just expand just there on Pete's thing. I think one of the things too, it's easy to get into something like this. And And especially if you're brand new and you're seeing the quality that is coming out with some channels and some with not channels, and then you're trying to figure out what works for you. And you might be hearing about all this equipment and all this kind of stuff. First off, comparison is probably one of the hardest things to get through when you're starting in a channel. Trying to compare yourself and seeing how other people are doing, and what I want to do this, and I want to look like that. I need to buy all that equipment. It's not about that.
Right.
It's about how you tell your story. And once you can get your story out, and they see who you are, and you just have to be unique. The equipment, everything else will come with it. You know, I think of not too long ago, Carlos from Disney World Freak. I remember his first stream. And I'll be honest with you, it was terrible. It was he tried whatever he did, but it was not good. But he did it, and look where he is now.
He's killing it.
He's killing it, and I think of that because he wasn't trying to be like, he has good relationships with me. He has great relationships with Pete and a lot of people in the community. But what he did is he knew what he can do. And he's not scared to ask. And the best thing I can say is that if you're in this community, your biggest resource is this community. Yeah. If you want to learn, learning is the biggest thing. You want to learn, you learn. This is the great place to learn and hone in the craft. After that, practice. Like, you got to practice. Like, if you don't practice, I'm not good at talking. I'm terrible at talking, but I have to practice all the time. You know, I watch Pete. I'm learning from Pete. Every time he streams, like you said, he's so quick. He is so able to navigate a conversation. He's so quick. Now, I'm not naturally like that, but I have to teach myself, I can be like that. So, but it doesn't mean I can't be Pete. Pete is Pete, and I'm Ed. Yeah. So we have to be able to take what we've learned and apply that to ourselves and own it. And own it how we are. So
yeah. And you bring up Carlos. You got to be open to suggestion and adjusting based on the feedback you get. Carlos spent many days with me where, I told him, hey, here's what I think you need to do A, B, and C, and he went out, and to his credit, he went out and worked on it. He's done a very good job. I recently made him a partner channel. He didn't have a lot of partner channels out there. I was looking for somebody who does great interviews. I think that he's really improved and doing a great job with his interviews of the European Disney community. So I reached out to him and said, hey, how about being a partner channel and interviewing and try to help each other?
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah. He is killing it too. And he's a great talker too. Pearl says you do you, or Jeff says that. For me, you do you is Norwegian. And if you know Norwegian, it's very few words and looking off into the distance. But, all right, Ed, I'm going to go back to you. And you guys, I know, and Pete, you got to be done in about 13 minutes, correct?
Yeah, I get about that because I go live tonight, 10:30.
All right, let's wrap this up in 10. And I'm going to ask you guys each 2 more questions. So we'll try to keep it short. Ed, there's one thing that I really wanted to ask you, and that is the husband and wife aspect of it. Now, a lot of us, we have spouses that would never go live. I mean, I know that. And that's definitely my situation. Yeah. But for those who are considering it or maybe thinking about trying it, I think you and Mindy have quite a magic going on there. So talk about husband and wife and live streaming, how you do that.
In the beginning when we first started, Mindy did not want to do anything with YouTube at all. We started the channel based on just making these videos and our family videos and just uploading and sharing with friends and family. Live streaming was not even in the cards. So I remember our first live stream that we did together. It was a giveaway thing that we were doing. And it was pretty cool when she was on a stream with me. And I didn't think anything of it. And I didn't think that we would actually become live streamers primarily. But what happened is that during that time, Mindy started seeing how much YouTube meant to me. And I think, which was awesome, and I'm blessed to have Mindy as my wife. And I know everybody has their spouses, but I'm very blessed because she knew that because of the relationships we were making, beyond just content, that she was going to be with me with this hobby. And it wasn't the easiest thing at first, but now I think the way we show ourselves, I think the biggest thing is chemistry. You know, you may want your spouse to be with you on the air with you, and it might work out fine, but sometimes the chemistry, if it doesn't come off good on camera, maybe it's not the best. To be honest with you, it depends. You know, you got to really think that through. And if you're on this to try to gain influence, to try to build the platform that you have, you have to really think of, okay, if we both can do it together and it works really well, presents really well, then you should try. I think being honest with your spouse is a big thing. You know, if you really want to do this, you know, and you're solo, and you really think that, you know what, it would be great to have them with you, I think you're just going to be, this is very special to me doing this. And I would probably say they would try it at least. Yeah. You know, I know everybody has different personalities, so don't get me wrong. Not everybody's camera ready, but for me, it was a big deal to have Mindy with me. And that's why I love when people think of the Viper Project, they don't think of me. They think of me and Mindy. Yeah. And actually now they think of me, Mindy, and Mochi, and then they think of our kids.
Well, you guys, I really love the chemistry there, and I'm gonna push forward, and I see a few questions. I'm sorry, I'm gonna stay on track here, Pete.
Yep.
I wanted to really ask you two questions, but I'll let you choose which one. Your repository of questions is amazing, but you can either answer that, how you came up with that, or just in general, where do you think live streaming is going, and where do you think we have to change and evolve with it?
Well, I'll give you both answers pretty quick. One, finding questions is everywhere. On the TV, watching a video, watching a game show, watching a movie, watching a live stream, and somebody says something where I can tie it in. Again, comedy is funny if it's relevant, and you got to stay up with the times and keep it up with that. So my questions, I've got 400 plus on my Sunday show that I have. And I have a format for my Wednesday show, but I'm constantly writing everywhere. Sometimes it's middle of the night. Sometimes I'll be laying in bed, I'll fall asleep, I'll wake up 2 a.m, and I'll hear the Family Feud, and it's a stupid question. I'm like, wow, I can contour that to my show, and I'll send myself a text message and then fix it in the morning, rewrite it. Nice. So it comes from everywhere. Where is it going, and what does it have to do in evolving? Well, first, evolving is creativity. It's finding new ways to keep reinventing what you're doing. You can't keep doing the same format forever, or else at some point it's going to break down. So even somebody like Resort TV One, who's been going for so long, is evolving and adjusting certain things. You know, when they first started, they were able to shout out everybody that came on. Now they're not. They don't. It's not that they don't want to. They would love to. They just can't. There's too many people coming in. You can't keep up. So you end up having to pick and choose your moments for how you're dealing with it. You're always taking care of the public. When you start as a creator, it's real easy to answer every comment on every video and answer every communication. But I can tell you, as you start to grow, you're going to realize that you have to adjust, and you have to pick and choose the ones you want to answer and address. So the biggest thing that I would say is evolution, changing yourself to make you more relevant today. And if you think about it, you know, we jokingly talked about wrestling at the beginning. Hulk Hogan started out as Terry Bollea, Thunderlips type thing, evolved into Hulk Hogan, what he ran through at WWE, evolved and adjusted and changed his persona into Hollywood Hogan in WCW, and then changed back to just Hulk Hogan, who is trying to mentor, grow, and develop. He's evolved and changed himself multiple times, and that is, you know, arguably one of the top iconic people to ever be in the business. So when you think about that, that's, you know, everybody. And you know, I'll use Adam the Woo here. Adam has changed so much over the years and adjusted his content or what he's doing. Sometimes he'll stop doing Disney altogether, go out on the road and do something. He's evolving and changing. And that, to me, is the biggest thing you need to do.
I can agree more.
And I'd like to point out that Kelly is late coming in from the Mickey Bunch. And Dean, I promise you, next Friday night, when I put her in a special Friday night episode of the hot seat, she will pay for that. I will have special "Why are you late for Dean's show" questions.
I'm making popcorn for that. I'm looking forward to that.
You're going to need it because I've rewritten some for her.
All right, guys, with the 4 minutes or so we have, I'm going to just ask you really quickly. Thank you so much for being on. To get to two quality guys like you means a lot to me. I'm going to start with Ed. Ed, just again, your channel, what's coming up, and where you're going.
So this week we are streaming Tuesday. Last week we didn't get to stream. I got to spend some time with my good friend Gonzo. It was his birthday last Tuesday, and I got to spend some time with him at the parks, and we had an incredible time. So we're going to be coming back this Tuesday. What are we streaming about? I have no idea yet. So I think we're just going to be talking, just trying to spend some time with the chat. We haven't had a chat night in a long time. Besides that, we have some trips probably coming up for Disney. And then we have a game night coming up, and also we do our pins with Donna. So we're excited to do that. That's going to be this month as well. And then hopefully when things get a little bit more lenient, with things through this whole COVID season, I think, we're itching really to do a little bit more vlogs. I'll be honest with you. One of the biggest things, and Pete's going to, I know we have like 2 minutes, but we've been posting more than we've ever posted just because of these shorts.
Yeah.
And let me tell you guys, those that are in here, if you want, you don't have to do them, but this is a new wave of YouTube. And if you don't get on it now, this is the best time to do it because you can ride the momentum. You got to remember, Shorts right now is really in beta. It's actually officially launched in India. So they're allowing us to try to get on that wave now. So get on it now. And that's how we've been getting this momentum. So we've been doing a lot of shorts of our last trip.
Yep.
Thank you, brother.
Yep.
All right, Pete, in the 1 minute left.
Everything that Ed said, please go over to my channel and watch The Butterfly Dancer, which is Diz Our Dream, dancing like a butterfly. It's the best short I think I've ever done. I've got interviews lined up all the way through the end of 2021. Brand new creators coming on Wednesdays to find out and share them with you so you can find out about new people. I just booked something literally 5 minutes ago as we were working here. I have one of the top artists from this year's Festival of the Arts.
Wow.
Doug is going to come on with us. His art was featured as one of the lead pictures for the whole entire Festival of the Arts. So I just got off. Chris from Ear to Ear Magic is helping me with this, and he's going to be a guest on my show, I think, 2 Mondays from now. It's a huge.
That's huge.
It's going to be a huge interview. I can't wait. Sunday nights are going to be ridiculous. I've got so many great questions, so many great guests lined up through the end of the year. And of course, we're also doing football on our show. If you love the NFL, come over and hang out with us because
and killing it with the football too.
25,000 views a show is
that's amazing. Aren't you going live right now too?
I'm going to duck out here and say thank you. I'm honored that you asked me to sit across from the Viapree project. I'm humbled. I still don't think I'm as good as Ed. I still think he's better than me. But we're going live in a couple minutes. I'm going to tell everybody things about Kelly the Mickey Bunch to get her all riled up for next week. So come on over and join us.
We will see you there, Pete. Thank you very much.
Bye-bye.
All right, bye. Ed, honestly, and Ed, by the way, years ago was nice enough to do a podcast interview, Ed and Mindy, with me. And if you're interested in listening to that, it is the oh boy, what was that podcast? I've done a lot of podcasts.
Yeah, you've done a lot. It was the dream. Is it
This Happy Place?
Yeah, This Happy Place. That was really good. Really awesome.
You. It was a great interview. You guys are awesome. So check out This Happy Place podcast on iTunes. I interviewed Road Trip Dave, one of my partners in the chat. A lot of people, Art Theme Life, Josh and Jenna.
That was awesome.
Yeah, Thomas.
Thomas Ever After.
Thomas Ever After. Yeah.
Yeah, that was awesome.
A lot of great ones, Nick. So okay. Well, Ed, thank you again.
Of course. Thank you. Dean, thank you for just 2 seconds. I just want to say thank you for everything. You've done such an incredible job with the liveplace.com and just bringing the community. I know you look at Pete with his personality and what he brings and how he's affected the community as of now, but you've affected the community in a different way. You may not have the personality like he does, but what you do have is this platform and be able to touch multiple communities beyond we could probably even imagine right now. So thank you so much for all that you do, your sacrifice. I know you sacrifice a lot for this, your time and your resources and energy. I mean, this is not cheap.
No.
And I know what you do. So thank you, Dean, for all that you do. You deserve so much. And, we're always in your corner for anything you need.
Oh, I appreciate that, and I will need things. But you know what? You're an awesome friend, and I do thank you for that. I want to share one piece of good news, which was I hadn't looked at my website activity recently, but I checked it today, and I've gone from I always look at unique visitors to your site each day, and it's always been around 500, kind of a slow growth to 500. January's been 850-ish.
Oh, wow.
So a huge jump.
That's a huge jump. Congratulations.
Well over 50%. And so, yeah, I'm happy with that. And thank you very much for everybody who joined. It's so good to have you here. I wish I could call you all out. Sorry we couldn't get to all your questions, but thank you for asking some really good questions. Again, thank you, Ed. Give my best to Mindy. We will definitely be seeing you around. Bye, everybody.
Bye, guys.